Hello everyone, welcome to another show of Relentless Reviews. I'm your host, Joshua Englander, and today I'm going to be reviewing a movie that I've been looking forward to for quite some time, J.Edgar. So can Leonardo DiCaprio pull off yet another memorable performance in his long, terrific acting career? Can legendary actor slash director Clint Eastwood deliver yet another masterpiece? Can the supporting cast deliver? Does the story live up to the amazing potential it has? Well, let's check out the trailer.
When morals decline and good men do nothing, evil flourishes. A society unwilling to learn from the past is doomed. We must never forget our history. We must never lower our guard.
Edgar, you will rise to be the most powerful man in the country.
Imagine if every citizen in this country were uniquely identifiable by the pattern on their fingers. Imagine how quickly we could find them if they committed a crime. You remember that file we created on his wife?
Mrs. Roosevelt.
Will you make a copy for me, please? Is that legal? Sometimes you need to bend the rules a little in order to keep your country safe.
Please leave the transcripts here with me.
Feel free and share them with your brother, Mr. Kennedy. Let him know that I have a copy of my own. The president is afraid.
All the admiration in the world can't fill the spot where love goes. We are the sinners, Edgar. We tolerated lawlessness in the land until it grew to diabolical proportions. The blood is on your hands, Edgar.
What are your exact qualifications for your position of leadership in this bureau?
My qualifications, sir? I don't know who I can trust anymore.
I see right through you. You're a scared, heartless, horrible little man.
Don't wilt like a little flower. Be strong.
Yes, Mother. It's time this generation learned the difference between villain and hero. Even great men can be corrupted.
All right, so first of all, might I say Leonardo DiCaprio continues his stellar acting career with another amazing performance playing the main character, J.Edgar, obviously. Now, what's so amazing about this performance, I think, mostly is the fact that we're talking about a character that really hasn't been in the discussion among modern society for quite some time. I mean, this guy died around the 60s and 70s, so obviously since then he really has been an afterthought, but the guy is a huge part of American history. You see this movie and you realize he really was a huge part of American history, and I think that's it. He plays that role almost perfectly, the way it should have been played, and he was the perfect part for that role. Also, the story, incredibly moving and powerful, and one of the most interesting things about the story, obviously, is the creation of the FBI, but also just what J.Edgar did to become successful, how far he was willing to go, what he was willing to do, even to the highest respected officials in America. He was willing to do so much to really put himself on that threshold along with them. Also, the supporting cast, what can you say? It's great. Armie Hammer, you would recognize him. He was in Social Network last year. Naomi Watts and Judi Dench, all are fantastic. And, you know, even if Leonardo DiCaprio was great and the supporting cast was terrible, this movie would probably still be great because Leonardo DiCaprio has such a huge role, but yet the supporting cast just makes the movie that much better. So even if there was no supporting cast, this movie still, to me, would have been as great as it was. Maybe a little, obviously, maybe not quite as good, but the supporting cast, even as little as it is, does such a great job. And also, really, the only negative I can think about the movie is the ending. I mean, it's a little dragged. People have been saying on their reviews when they've reviewed the movie that it feels slow, it feels kind of dull. I just don't think that's the case. I think I can see what they mean maybe by the ending, because the ending was dragged a little bit. It did feel a little dull, kind of like, oh, get to the point. But that's really the only complaint I can think of. So overall, I mean, this movie, I'm going to, at the end of the year, this is without question going to be in my mind of the discussion of what, in my view, is the best movie of the year. I know Rotten Tomatoes has been saying this isn't a very good movie, 41%. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. This is a fantastic movie, a fascinating tale of a man who really isn't being talked about anymore, but I think he really should. I mean, in history classes, wherever, talk about them more. But so overall, I think this movie is so good, so fascinating. I'm going to give it a 9.5. That's right, almost a perfect 10. But the fact is that other than the ending, this movie was almost perfect. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. And honestly, if you just listen to Rotten Tomatoes all the time, clearly, you're not going to see some of the underappreciated movies, because this movie probably, because of its bad reviews, is not going to do very well at the box office. So that's another show of Relentless Reviews. Please remember to subscribe, and also remember to check out my new website, www.relentlessreviews, not an S, but a Z, .webs.com. And thanks for watching.